Jet fans, it is Monday, Victory Monday, and we won one for old Nick Mangold. Rest in peace. We had a wild one. We had a wild one. And in the aftermath, head coach Aaron Glenn, good mood, had a press conference. Didn't really say much. Um, and only interesting nugget, I think, is that he did not confirm, for example, that Justin Fields would be starting the next game after the bye week. So that's kind of interesting. I would anticipate that he will be starting that game, but was not confirmed by the HC of the NYJ. So considering we had our first really good game since the first week, this was our second best overall graded game, for example, from PFF. I thought we should take a look at some of these PFF grades. Now, standard caveat, we do not consider these the Bible. They're subjective grades, but we take a look at them, see what the stat nerds think, so forth, and so on. See if we can do this. Ah, yeah, look at that. But old Frankie over here, maybe over here. Yeah, that works a little better. I don't want to be behind the logo. Anyway, let's take a look. Take a look at this offense. All right. Isaiah Davis ranked the best out of all of our people. 79.7. And he played a great game. Fullback Andrew Beck. Andrew Beck's been great all year. So as I talked about, the sniffer, Andrew Beck working out great. Justin Fields, this is probably his best game, certainly since week one. 77.8 grade. Mason Taylor and Jeremy Ruckert. Look, if Ruckert can continue to do this, maybe we keep him on the roster. Now, something that's unexpected, look at Isaiah Williams. So Isaiah Williams is a guy that we picked up off somebody's practice squad, and then he came here and he fumbled the ball and he made a dumb mistake on the punt, and we cut him and then we brought him back, and now he's on the 53-man. And look at this game that he had. Incredible. He did well on special teams, and he did great on offense. Who expected that? Including an 87 run grade. If you're going to run block like that, Isaiah Williams could be making a case to make the roster next year. Wide receiver 4 or 5, something like that. So he could be a useful piece. If you're going to do special teams, return punts, return kicks, and be the 4th or 5th wide receiver, that's a useful guy that you can get for, what, 2-3 mil? Easy. Then we got Olu and Armand, so they did well, and that's good. Tyler Johnson did well, too. Brees, they say Brees didn't pass block well. And he had one penalty where he slightly moved his shoulder. We got to fix the false starts also. We're going to fix a lot of rules in football. You watch. Joe Tippmann, better than average. They said his run blocking wasn't great. Pass blocking was great. Max Mitchell carving out a role as the 6th lineman, tackle eligible. And Josh Myers, got to see about him for next year. Jelani Woods got in for one. Aaron Smith still waiting for that kid to do something to get excited about. John Simpson continues to be lowly graded, and he's probably on his way out of here. Brandon Smith did get 8 snaps, so B. Smitty got in there, and now he's on the 53-man, so we'll see. And here's old Alan Lazard, and maybe we could figure out a trade partner for him. Let's hope so. For everybody's sake. Defense, Tony Adams was our best defender, but only 10 snaps. Jarvis Brownlee continues to be an excellent move by Muji, and then Brandon Stevens is now really making that signing look very, very nice. Sherwood played well after his mysterious first quarter benching. AG refused to say what that was all about. McDonald, did okay. Larry Thomas did all right. He gave up that long pass for a touchdown to T. Higgins, but other than that, played okay. Almost made a miraculous interception. The only problem, his feet were out of bounds, but it was a nice play nonetheless. Michael Clemens average. We need this fella, Quinnen Williams, to be a lot better. Harrison Phillips average. And then, things down here like Malachi Moore playing this poorly. And I saw Clinton Dix. Remember that guy? He's also from Alabama. And he says, I'm not impressed with Malachi Moore. Even this is when he was highly rated. Somebody put out his grade as 70-something, and said, I'm not impressed, got to see more. Kai, he was trying to get Malachi to play better. And now you see this kind of a grade during the game, no bueno. So I'm not convinced about Malachi just yet, but rookie, let's see how he does. Jermaine didn't play that great. Peyton Page got in there for 3 snaps, didn't do much. Juwan Briggs, not his best game. Quincy, first game back from injury, didn't play that great. Cisco now injured, and then Maui Goa also injured. These 2 guys got knocked out of the game. As far as special teams is concerned, nothing really to write home about. All right, let's look at one more thing, which is passing. And when you look at this, the interesting thing here is Justin Fields had 2 big-time throws. One of the now, look, there's a couple of things on here. One, he normally doesn't have any big-time throws. He's too cautious, right? So in this game, they gave him 2. So that means what your eyes were telling you, he was being a little more aggressive, getting the ball out. Now, his ADOT was only 6 yards. That's not a lot of ADOT, average depth of target. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care if we have to have Justin Fields with a low ADOT. If that's the way it has to be, and that's what's going to make him into an efficient and complete passer, just, a lot of dink and dunk, and then occasionally takes a shot, so what? That's okay. It's okay. We got to do what we got to do with the personnel that we have. And if it just so happens Fields needs to dink and dunk early, get into a rhythm, that's what I wanted him to do anyway. Let him get into a rhythm. Let him start to feel good about throwing the ball. Let the receiver start to feel good about catching the ball and all this. Just ramp it up and, put training wheels on it. It's okay. You don't got to come out there and be Joe Montana, or somebody else. You just do Engstrand. Just do what you need to do with this guy that we have. We don't have Joe Montana over here, So I don't care. So that's low. And you could say, some of these stat nerds or other people go, well, that's not really high quarterback play. All right, he had 65%, 66% completion percentage. That's okay. And he had a lot of yards, 244. Okay, he had a touchdown. But, he's throwing 6 yards in the air mostly. All right, that's a criticism. We'll take it. Rather have a functioning quarterback throwing dink and dunks and then occasionally taking shots rather than trying to be some kind of Josh Allen or a Drake May, and you're not that person. Be who you are. And you notice here 2.92 for Justin. This is probably pretty good. You would like it lower. But for him, when he scrambles around and all that weighs heavily. Look how, that one Breece Hall, just as an example, this is a good example, right? We had that one Breece Hall one, and they say that play took Breece 4.2 seconds to throw that ball. You wouldn't think it would take that long, right? Just watching it, 4.2 seconds. But that play, that just goes to show, a guy rolls to his right, does a little fake, and then throws it. That takes 4.2 seconds. So it kind of gets to the point that Fields has made in the press conferences that, when you scramble around, that's going to add to this number. But at the same time, you also got to get rid of it quickly. So both parties were actually correct. Field was correct about this number, but also the people questioning him and the people saying he's got to get rid of it fast were also correct. He has to, both parties can be right at times. And so that's where we are. But that's what you'd like to see. This is like a key number for Fields because of who he is and how he normally tries to play. He's played in, 6 games so far this year. He doesn't have any picks. I think he's only got 1 or 2 fumbles, which for him is good. And so he's normally kind of a cautious passer. And, maybe we're in a situation where we're finding the fine line of caution and sort of dink and dunk and then when to be aggressive. Now, the other thing to keep in mind with all these stats and all these grades, the Bengals defense, no good. So it's nice that we hit them up for 39 points, but at the same time, they were no good. And Trey Hendrickson left the game with his little hip injury there. after John Simpson put him on the ground, hit him too hard. Somebody was saying, that's an illegal hit. No, it's not. Put your big boy pants on. This is the NFL. Shut the fuck up. So anyway, so even with Hendrickson, it's not great. So without him, this wasn't a great defense. And the other great game that Fields had was against Pittsburgh, and it's turning out they don't have a great defense either, at least so far. And so let's not get too excited by this performance, but at the same time, you'd rather have a good performance against a bad defense than a bad performance against a bad defense. But that's how it goes. Hey, so other than that, let's take a look at the blocking. I always like to look at blocking. Blocking, why? Because it's the most important thing in the world. Efficiency, you like to see 100%. Yeah. Look at Max Mitchell getting it done. Breece Hall, so I don't know how they gave him a bad pass blocking grade when he didn't let anybody in there. But maybe that grade is, maybe he didn't do it technique-wise. You know what I like? Instead of looking at technique of blocking, did you let anybody close to my passer? No? You get 100%. I don't care what technique you use, as long as it's legal. Mason Taylor, 100%. Lazard, 100%. Ruckert. Membu, 100%. Beautiful. Again, keep in mind, not a great defense, but still beautiful. Olu Fajanu, 100% beautiful. Joey Tipman, 100% beautiful. Love to see it. Johnny Simpson, 98.6, also excellent. Josh Myers, so basically our whole offensive line had an amazing day. Again, not against, exactly like the Purple People Eaters or something, but still, let's let them get their confidence up. Let's hope they can carry this over to the next game, where we are going to have to face Myles Garrett, who just had a 5-sack game. Ooh, get a little nervous thinking about Myles Garrett. Ugh, he's so good. But so we're going to have to face Myles Garrett and Mason Graham and Mike Hall and all these monsters. Malik Collins, who's very good that nobody knows about. And all these monsters they have over there at Cleveland. I really don't understand how the Cleveland defense isn't better. They have Denzel Ward. They have all these monsters. And they even had a great linebacker. We're not going to face him, it looks like, this Schlesinger kid. But he was playing really well until he got injured. They have all these people, and and they have a good defensive coordinator, Schwartz, and the defense isn't great. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Well, there you go. Those are the grades with some analysis, expert analysis from Frankie from Flatbush, FSPN Division of Scouting and Statistics, I guess. This isn't really scouting. This is looking at numbers. Data analytics, heuristics, mystics, and statistics. Let me know what you think about these PFF grades in the comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.